Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, maybe good evening, depending on when you're accessing this. I wanted to talk about our next project. We took the test, we finished the previous project that we left off on whenever we were like still in school. Um, so now we're going to move on to a new project that I wanted to focus on photojournalism and documentation, documentary photography, because I feel like that really applies to our lives right now. So I have created a PDF that I will have uploaded so that you guys can check out what this all entails. I am going to read the directions out loud, and I know you guys can do that, but I just want to kind of get it all out there. So, this project is the photojournalism project on documenting your quarantine. What the world is experiencing right now will go down as a major part of our history. We will most likely talk about our own experiences during quarantine, social distancing for days, months, if not years after this all is over, which will hopefully be very soon. Photojournalism and documentary photography will play an enormous role in what we as society remember from these stressful and unfamiliar times. Dorothea Lange's photographs influenced the development of documentary photography and humanized the consequences of the Great Depression. So for this whole assignment, we're relating it back to Dorothea Lange and getting inspiration from her. So for this assignment, you will document your quarantine experience with inspiration from photographer Dorothea Lange. Follow the directions below to complete this assignment. Lange's photographs relate to the world's current situation because not only is our economy suffering globally, but hundreds of thousands of people are out of work, students don't go to school, our idea of normalcy is completely different than ever before. We are facing completely different challenges. There's just so many different things happening right now, and there are different ways that you can approach this entire project. But try your best to evoke your personal experience relating to the 3 prompts that I have included in this assignment. Right below that, it says, this is also a time where some of us are spending much needed quality time with families. You could do a spin on this assignment where your images highlight all the different emotions you and your family are feeling throughout this entire process. Scared, happy, nervous, etc. This could be an entire photo series for you and your family to look back onto in the future. So, just kind of brainstorming this idea, I don't want you to all like approach this as if it's like some like depressing like series of photography that you're looking back on. It could be lighthearted. It could be you and your family making the best of it, like showing that through your photographs. If you are going through some struggles right now and you want to kind of have an outlet for that, this could be that project. But this is really up to you how you want to portray your life right now with all of this happening. So step 1, you're going to watch the first 5 minutes and 40 seconds of the Dorothea Lange Migrant Mother. The link is attached. If you want to watch the whole thing, you can. If you want to do more research on Dorothea Lange, you can. Number 2, analyze Dorothea Lange's other photographs from this time below. So I've attached a lot of good example images from this whole time period during the Great Depression. So you'll check out some of her work, and then we're going to go to the different types of photographs that I want you to take for this. So photo 1 is going to be a porch photograph. Now, I know not everybody has a porch. So if you want to do this on like the couch, if there's like somewhere else in your house that your family kind of like congregates, but it should be like a group photograph or some type of shot that kind of is portraying your family at this point in time. These could all be candid images. I know a lot of Dorothea Lange's images, she posed and kind of, had everything planned out before she took the picture. If you want to make this more of a candid feel, you can. But for this, take a photograph of your family on your porch, front or back porch. Don't get dressed up for it. Just come out wearing whatever you have on, pajamas, workout clothes, etc. I know I've basically been wearing pajamas almost every day, or workout clothes. So the photos should show how life really is. If you and your family do not want to go outside, the couch would work for this. You can choose not to be in the photograph yourself and just take the photograph of your family, or you can look up how to use the self-timer on your Nikon D3200, but make sure the camera is set on something sturdy like a countertop, unless you signed out a tripod before you guys left for school, which I know some people did, but I don't have enough tripods for everybody, so you're going to have to make do with what you have at home. Your images I do want all of them black and white. So we are kind of going with that theme from Dorothea Lange's FSA Great Depression kind of vibe. So see the Great Depression era photos as an example. You are not creating these images, but showing how life is for you. I don't want you to set up and try to do like an exact replica of any of these pictures. If you should have any issues with the prompt, please contact Mr. Anker as soon as possible. So if there's some type of dilemma where you just can't get this kind of picture taken, we need to work something else out with what will work for you at home right now. Photo 2, how different things are on the outside. Take a photograph of something outside your home that shows how things are different right now. For example, a change in your daily routine. So if you're used to, getting ready and getting, presentable for school, it could just be something about like how your outfits have like progressed. It could be like a series of something like that. It could be, I know the pictures in this document are all of mostly things like not outside technically, but outside of your house. So in the store, if for some reason you do go to the store with your parents, you could take pictures there, but I highly don't recommend doing that. So something like that. And if you are not able to go outdoors for this, you can do indoors, but the next prompt for photo 3 is also indoors, so you would just have to submit multiple images that are like up in your house. So photo 3, how different things are inside. Take a photograph of something inside or outside your home that shows how things are different right now. If you aren't able to go outdoors for photo 2, you will turn into images from indoors. This could include anything you've been doing to pass the time too. So a lot of these example images are, there's a little kid, like what looks like he's doing yoga right here. There's a little kid under a table. It looked like he was trying to make it feel like he was in a fort or something. Someone is kind of what looks like rearranging their room, FaceTiming and talking to friends, learning the piano. So whatever you want to do for these photo 3 and photo 2 images, it could be whatever you're doing inside that might be different from your regular day. Just ways to show how things are different for you at this point in time. And then I want to talk about the project rubric. So there are only 3 prompts. I'm only asking that you turn in 3 final edited images if you want to make this a series, and you have 3, like more than 3 pictures. I'll talk about that in a second with how I want you to turn those in. But your project rubric, so your areas of focus, we're going to focus on assignment, specifications, and requirements, so subject matter, number of images, and editing. So obviously I want at least 3 images here. Your subject matter has to relate to the prompts. And image editing, I sent out a remind message about Photopea, Pixlr, GIMP, and Photoshop Express on your phone in Lightroom. You can download Photoshop Express and Lightroom. They both work really well. And then the Photopea is basically like, it looks exactly like Photoshop almost. There's a couple things you can't do, but you could definitely edit on here. Strong choice of subject matter. Images are edited in black and white and have been enhanced to achieve the most striking photograph and image possible. An average grade for this would it would feel like, it looks like it only met minimum level of quality and subject matter to satisfy the assignment. It could have been improved. It might be something that just looks like you didn't really plan it enough. The image was only completed to fulfill the assignment but do not meet all requirements. And then below average is subject matter just doesn't satisfy the assignment or the specific prompt. Images are missing, so you don't turn in 3 images. It shows minimal to no evidence of requirements or no work submitted. Composition, so that doesn't just have to do with rule of thirds, S-curve, and 9-zone grid, which are your compositional rules, but it also has to deal with like leading lines, interesting perspective, cropping and framing, triangle method. Any method of composition that we talked about is also something in that. So you need to think about those things while you're planning out your shots. A strong composition is going to feel like it has some type of wholeness to it. It demonstrates a visual interest and it's a dynamic composition. An average picture would just show some visual interest. I mean, an average image kind of always feels like it could have been pushed a little bit further, and then below average is just very weak feeling. After that, we're just focusing on the concept, which is the prompts, your image quality. So make sure that if you are going to have something blurry, it needs to be intentional. So depth of field. So if you're using a shallow depth of field, if you're doing this with your digital camera, you want to have your focal point in focus, and then the background or foreground are going to be blurry. So that's intentional. But if you're just taking your pictures and you're using a slow shutter speed and you're in manual mode or shutter priority mode, but you're holding it with your hand instead of having it placed down while using a slow shutter speed, you're going to get a blurry image, and that's going to affect the quality of your picture. So make sure things are sharp and in focus. That's just going to make it feel like a more professional picture. And if you do turn in some blurry pictures and it kind of takes away from the content, you're going to score lower on that. And then creativity and originality. I know a lot of people are probably going to want to like go for, pictures if you have masks at home or like gloves, cleaning supplies. If you do go out to the store, like the empty shelves. But try to think of other ways you could show these things, because obviously, like in the example images, that's a lot of them right there. So maybe other angles, trying to just approach it in a different way. I know that's kind of hard right now because I'm just like going through these couple examples, but try to really make this feel original to you, and get as creative as you can with what we have going on right now. So that is the rubric, and there is going to be a reflection assignment, and I'm kind of just basing it off of the reflection that we used for the previous project. So I've edited it just to say documenting quarantine project reflection. You'll upload your 3 final images. Also, make sure you're uploading the individual JPEG file into Google Classroom, wherever this reflection is located. So not only will you upload them into the document, but you'll also upload the file to the assignment. So that way, if we use this in the future, I can have the file itself saved, because I'm not able to save images from a Google Doc like this. I'm going to edit these questions a little bit before you guys complete this, but just plan on having to do a reflection. I expect you to reflect on your work anytime you have a project. But that is kind of where we're at with photojournalism, and I will keep you guys updated with anything else that I want you to work on. All right? Email me with questions, Remind 101. If any of you wants to request a meeting, like a Zoom meeting or a Google Meet, just let me know, and we can figure out a time that works for both of us, so that we can kind of get, whatever you're worried about figured out. So that's all for now, guys. Bye.